Okay, so we want to go ahead and get started. Want to bring Josh up to the stage. I'm really excited to introduce our CEO and owner of the company. He started 14 years ago with RTA on our tech support team and quickly became known as the SQL expert. Now he has 6 kids, 2 dogs, and a beautiful wife who manages all of that. And recently he and his wife purchased RTA, making it a 3rd-generation family company, which I think is really special. So please welcome to the stage, Josh Turley.
Thanks, Lene. All right, thank you, Lene. Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you out to RTA Connect 2018. This is our 28th annual users conference. We've done this 28 times. Each year seems to bring new challenges, but it brings new lessons, new friends, and new opportunities for growth. So thank you all for being here. I really can't say enough about the appreciation and the gratitude that we have for you. I want to start off the presentation this morning by focusing on our theme for the year, Connect. We wanted to give conference kind of an identity. What did it mean to come to conference? What was the purpose of conference? We really wanted to communicate what it was all about. So with that in mind, with the Connect, I want to kind of identify the 4 things that we came up with that we said, this is what we want to make the event. This is how we want to structure it, the 4 pillars, if you will. First thing we wanted to do is balance the emphasis on networking and training. We might have been a little bit gung-ho in our jam-packed efforts. We had 5 class sessions, all from an hour to an hour and a half. Pretty much just bang, 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 you were going into classes each and every time. It was really training heavy. So we decided to scale back a little bit on the training side and give you more opportunities to network and talk to your peers. This is based on a lot of the feedback we got from our client advisory board, from training evaluations, was that the training was amazing. They loved the training, but they really enjoyed sitting at lunch with their peers, getting to know other people's problems, getting to know other people's solutions, and talking amongst yourselves. So with that, we went ahead and we added more time in between classes. You'll now notice on your schedule that you have at least 20 minutes between each class. We have shortened, more focused topics now. Everything is shorter than an hour. The longest classes are 60 minutes, while the shortest ones are 40. So they're very narrow, focused topics. When you come in, you're going to be getting the meat and potatoes of every topic that you go into. We also added an afternoon snack break, so there'll be a 30-minute break in the afternoons where you'll be able to come in, socialize with your peers, and enjoy a tasty treat at the same time. We added lightning topics. Out here in the foyer, there'll be short 5 to 10-minute presentations given by the staff during the lunch breaks, so that if there's a mini topic that you want to just go to quick, focused splash into, you'll be able to come attend those just in the foyer. And they might have some fun giveaways to give out as well. We added last night's fireside chat and our opening mixer. How many people enjoyed the fireside chat last night? All right, thank you all for coming to that. How many people enjoyed the opening mixer? All right, yeah, you can clap a little louder. There's free drinks, right? You gotta clap on that. So thank you guys for coming to both of those. I really enjoyed it, and we're definitely gonna be doing more of those in the future. It really was a great moment to kind of be able to connect, be very candid, and speaking with you about things that are going on at RTA that we have. The other thing we really wanted to add was more client stories. We wanted to hear more from you. We learn so much from each of you when we're here at conference. And I knew that if we really wanted to make RTA conference super successful, you would love to hear more from your own peers as well. And so we gave more opportunities to like-minded peers, just like yourself, to get up and tell their stories, tell their successes, and tell some of the lessons they've learned over the years. I really am looking forward to having this grow over time and having more and more of you participating. It's something that we believe in so much, we totally waive your conference registration if you come and participate, which is worth about $1,000, so not bad for a speaking gig for 40 minutes if you ask me. If you are interested in speaking next year, please look for Lene or I, or put it on your eval that you're interested in talking. And it doesn't have to be much, just 40 minutes to an hour. It could be about anything that you've had, that you've succeeded on, that a lesson you've learned, something that you think would be interesting to peers around you. And trust me, you have plenty to offer, so don't feel shy about anything that you guys have going on. Over the past year, I've been able to go to quite a few trade shows, GFX, NAFA, Fleet Pros. It's been really eye-opening. It's been a lot of fun. And one of the things I realized is there's a lot of really amazing vendors out there. There's a lot of amazing vendors with a lot of innovative solutions to problems that you guys are facing, way beyond what RTA addresses. As I wanted RTA Connect to kind of grow and be bigger and bring in more industry power and knowledge, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to go it alone. We wouldn't be able to do this with just RTA. And so this year's the first year that we've had at least 10 vendors here at the RTA Expo, and I'm looking forward to growing that more in the future. All of the sponsors that you see here have some kind of product that integrates with RTA, and they do it in an innovative way that'll solve some of the problems that you guys are facing. Longavard Ross is even offering a special discount to everybody who's here at the conference. So I would recommend stopping by their booth and checking out some of the products that they have to offer. I want to give special thanks to our sponsor of last night's mixer, GPS Insight. These guys are just down the road from where we're at in Glendale, and they've been a super tremendous partner to work with, really easy to integrate with, and they've been just a wonderful ally as we've kind of grown together and established this partnership and integration. So can I get a round of applause for GPS Insight for last night's mixer? Something else that I wanted to add was more of a third-party flair to the Connect agenda. I wanted to leave you more inspired, thinking bigger than just maybe your job or your role, and kind of tackling more larger problems than that. So with that in mind, we decided to invite an external keynote speaker. Redmond Ramos will be speaking to us tomorrow. I'm really hoping that as you come to that session, that when you leave, you'll feel inspired, you'll feel motivated to kind of tackle some of your biggest challenges, whether at work, in life, or anywhere else. I've brought one of my personal mentors, Fred Croyne, in to kind of share some of the lessons that I've learned over the past, things that I found really insightful that I know that you'll get a lot out of as well. And I added a class just to talk about some of the lessons I've learned over the past year from some really great authors. A lot of these lessons are deeply personal to me, and I felt really compelled to share a lot of that with you. So I decided to add a little bit more of a flair to it, other than just RTA and just how to use the software. So again, with Connect being this year's theme, it's about connecting people. It's about connecting what we do as fleet managers, what we do as shop supervisors, as mechanics. It's about connecting what we do as activities to the results. It's about connecting solutions. It's about bringing the solutions that you have and helping somebody else. We want to make a personal connection while we're here at conference. We want to try to make sure that you feel personally connected to RTA, that you feel personally connected to the people around you. As I said last night, this is really a family, and as you come into the RTA family, you really do get grafted into the branches, and really become part of the same tree. One of the things that kind of gets in the way of us being able to connect to people a lot of times is just confidence. Sometimes we lack that confidence to go out, introduce ourselves to somebody, ask that question that's burning in the back of our mind. We might be a little bit shy to ask it. And so I wanted to lead off and just let you know some of the ABCs of confidence that I recently learned. John Maxwell is a great author, one of my favorite authors. And I just watched a quick little podcast from him about the ABCs of confidence. And so I wanted to share that with you and hope inspire you to get the most out of Connect this year. First, the A of confidence is to take action. Sometimes we might feel small. We might feel like we don't have anything to contribute to the conversation. And I think in those moments, even if that's true, if we don't know what we're talking about, we don't want to step out of our comfort zone, that's when we have the most to learn. Imagine if you had 5 of the smartest people in the room, and they had the answers to all of life's mysteries. And they were sitting up here, and you had one question to ask, and you decided, I'm not going to ask that question. Imagine how much wisdom you would have left on the table just by asking that question. You had 5 of the smartest people in the room, and you walked out with nothing. You would have cheated yourself. So I would recommend that you be bold, ask the question, take action, and as you do so, you'll find more confidence in you, and you grow confidence that way. The next thing is benefit others. This is the B of confidence. It's to benefit others. As you come into Connect, you're going to hear lots of stories and lots of things that are going on. There's going to be problems that you've already solved. Share those. What's amazing about sharing your own ideas and your own stories is that as you share, your own confidence grows. It becomes kind of this self-feeding cycle, and as your confidence grows, you're going to share more. And as you share more, your confidence continues growing. Don't hold back. If you have something that you think might benefit somebody, share it. The last is C, is choose your company. We are who we hang around. And so if you want to be a confident person, it really helps to hang around other confident people. You're among some of the greatest fleet managers here at RTA Connect. And so you're going to learn a lot from them. And as you hang around other confident people, they're going to lift you up. And as they lift you up, guess what you're going to be able to do? You're going to be able to lift others up. Confidence is contagious. And so definitely be sure to hang around people who are confident, who have answers, because as you learn from them, you're going to become more confident in sharing those answers with others as well. Okay, and so with that in mind, I want you to be confident in tackling some of these challenges that I want to give to you today. Okay, and so these are the 3 things that I want you to get out of Connect, and if you've got a pen and paper, I'd recommend writing them down. I'll give you a second to get those out. All right, the first one that I want you to remember is challenge. These are the 3 things that I want you to remember. I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to challenge yourself to meet at least one new person in every class you go to. We have 50 sessions over the next 2.5 days. So if you meet one new person in each of those sessions, you'll have met 50 new people at RTA Connect. And that's not counting lunch even. So you can hit 7 people at once at lunch if you sit next to the right group. So I'm going to challenge you to meet one new person in every class you go to. Really try to connect to your peers, try to get to know who they are, where they're from, what their story is. The next thing I want you to do is collaborate. I want you to help try to solve one person's problem, and I want you to try to get one of your own problems solved. Bring your problems and your solutions to your peers. We're really social creatures. We benefit from the social interaction of others, but our strength really comes in being able to work together towards a common goal. So I'd recommend that you collaborate together, leverage the strength of the community, really overcome the challenges that you face in your own job and help somebody else overcome the challenges they face in their job. Last thing I want you to do is commit. Commit to do one thing different. Set one goal. Commit to go back and reach that. Commit to implement one new improvement from something you learned while you were here, whether that's from us or from your peers. If you really want to take this one to the next level, find one person who will help hold you accountable, that will help kind of keep you honest, that in 2 months will call you up and say, hey, Joe, how'd you do on that goal you were setting? How did you do towards reducing your inventory? How did you do towards doing better with your PM performance? Commit to find that one person that'll help keep you accountable, that'll call you up and ask you how you're doing on your goal. And be that person for somebody else. We can all use an accountability coach, a mentor, somebody to kind of help us get through things. Try to commit to find that one person. If you've met 50 new people, one of those will most likely be able to help you. So with that, let's talk a little bit about some of the people you have surrounding you. Please stand if this is your first RTA conference. All right, welcome. Thank you. All right, you can sit down. So for everybody else, please stand if this is not your first RTA conference. You thought you were out, right? All right, now stay standing, stay standing. Please stand if you've been to at least 5 conferences. Please stay standing. All right, please stay standing if you've been to at least 10 conferences. All right, we're going to keep going. Do we have 15? All right. Yavapai, you got it. How many have you been to? Right at 15? 16? All right, thank you. All right, now, so for everybody who this is your first conference, I've got one thing that we have to teach you. And Jan, I'm going to need your help with this. You have your mic on? Whoa, I don't think so.
How we doing?
So Jan,
Well-
what's the one thing that we need to know here at conference that we always have to do?
One thing we always have to do, and you guys who have been here know it. What is it? 1, 2, 3. Go RTA! All right, all you newbies out there, let's hear it from you. 1, 2, 3. Go RTA! Awesome.
All right, you guys can be taught. Good job. All right, so you'll randomly hear that throughout the halls. Just join in. That's the rally cry of RTA Connect. So, all right, we're not done yet with the standing, so I hope your legs are warmed up now. So please stand if you've been using RTA less than a year. You're brand new to the system. All right, welcome. You guys have made a great decision. Thank you. Please stand if you've been using RTA for at least 2 years, or two or more years, I should say. All right, so for everybody who is seated, look around you, look at everybody who's been using the system for quite a while. Now stay standing. How many of you, please stay standing if you've been using it for more than 5 years. All right, more than 10 years? More than 15? 20? 25? 30? All right, so Rick, how long have you guys been using it over at Arizona Department of Corrections?
94, I think is when we started.
94. How about you? 91. I think, Phil, you said you bought it about 93, right? Over at Poway? I thought I saw you. There you are. So you've got a lot of expertise. People have been using the system longer than I have. I started in 2004. We talked a little bit last night about some of the changes that have overcome, that have come through the years in the system. A lot of these guys have seen it all. So definitely connect with your peers. Please lean on the experience and expertise that they have. And especially if you're brand new to the RTA system, brand new to conference, there is a lot of experience in this room if you saw how many people were still standing. So. All right, we're almost done with this. But now your legs are getting sore, I know. So please stand if you're in a government fleet, a non-transit government fleet. All right, so look around the room. These are all of your industry peers. These are all people who are in industries just like yours. These are counties, these are cities, municipalities, other government agencies, state agencies. All right, thank you. Please stand if you're in a transit industry. Okay, so these are your like-minded peers. Look for these guys at lunch. Seek them out, sit with them, get to see what kind of challenges they're facing. How about freight, trucking, food delivery? All right, so look around. Again, these are your peers. All right, and I think my last one was construction and utilities. There's a handful of you guys, but you're still here, so thank you guys for very much. All right, and that does do it for the interactive portion. You guys can rest now. So again, let's give a big round of applause for all of you guys. Thank you for your support. All right, so over the next several slides, I want to talk a little bit about the year in review, where we've been, what we've been working on, some of the changes that we've had at the company. We've been through a lot of exciting changes, both small, both large, and so I'm going to go over several of those. I might read a few of these next slides. I want to make sure I say exactly what I mean to say, but the first thing I want to let you know is we do have new ownership, as Lene mentioned. My wife and I just bought the company over the summer. It was a really exciting time for my wife and I to continue on that legacy that my dad really helped build and that my grandfather started. And I'll read this statement because I really want to make sure I say it right. Is that my wife and I were able to purchase a company that my father spent his life building. And in doing so, it fulfilled a dream that both he and I had. We'd had that for about the last 10 years. It took a few twists along the way, but he truly was a great man, and anyone who knew him still misses him to this day. My dad built a customer service company that happened to build software. It's a legacy that Ange and I are aiming to build on. My background outside of RTA comes from business and technology. So my goal is to blend all three elements, customer service, business, and technology, into one, and make all those pillars something that we operate off of as a company. It starts with our customers, because without you, we're really nothing. We can't do anything that we're doing, and there's really no point for us doing any of it without you. We live to serve you guys. It follows with making sure that the technology we deliver meets the needs, meets your needs, because you guys really do deserve the best. And so we want to make sure our technology is one of the best out there. And all of that's done, in a financially prudent manner that'll help us grow. And in turn, we want that to help us impact more people so that we can continue that cycle of service. As part of that shift and kind of that focus and making sure that we had that and we knew what we were trying to do, we actually crafted our first ever mission statement at RTA. And it really does, it starts with why. This is a principle that I've really attached to, is that whenever you're going to do something, it always helps to know exactly why you're doing it. What you do might change, but why you do it should never change. It should be a core part of who you are. So as a company, I wanted to make sure that we knew why it was we're doing what we're doing, so that in the day that it ever changed what we were working on or how we were doing it, that we never forgot who we are and where we came from. So with that, I'm going to share with you our updated mission statement. Staff, you don't need to read along this time. We make an exercise of reading this at every staff meeting so that we're all on the same page. But I'm going to read this out. The core of our mission at RTA is simple. We want to make a positive impact in the lives that we touch. Everything we do revolves around making a net positive difference in the lives of our employees, our clients, and our communities they serve. Specifically, we develop, we sell, and we support technologies that helps fleet managers solve their everyday problems in order to make better decisions and become more efficient in their jobs. We do this because we've been there in their shoes and empathize with their needs. We focus on this on small to mid-sized fleets who need enterprise-grade software but don't have enterprise-grade budgets. We are a business, we exist to make a profit, and that profit is a tool that we use by investing in our employees and our company to grow and deepen the impact of our mission. I believe so much in making a positive impact that I've got it in big, bold letters over our front door in our new building space that we're moving into. This is the core of why we do what we do. We want to make sure that we're making a positive impact. We're trying to help people. We want to serve the needs of the community. The next thing that came is our vision. What do we want the company to be? We believe that technology is an incredible tool that, when designed well, can simplify the lives of those who use it. Any technology we develop should be simple, intelligent, and smart. It should be simple enough that a user can intuitively pick it up and understand how it works. It should be intelligent enough to provide answers when asked and make difficult solutions easy to discover. It should be smart, or in other words, capable of learning, gaining a better ability to predict the answers needed before the question is asked. With this type of technology applied to fleet, we see a world where the roads are safer, vehicles are more efficient, inventories turn quicker, mechanics are seen as technicians, and fleet managers have augmented ability to accomplish more in less time with less stress and more confidence. So what does this mean for you? At the end of the day, it really comes down to, we're hoping to build some really cool stuff for some really cool people. We really believe a lot in what you guys do, and we want to make sure that we're offering you the best that we have to offer. We're always going to be here to serve you. We're always going to try and serve you the best that we can. We want to do that with great technology. That vision that I have for the future of the company, we might not be there yet. We might not be there today, but that's where I want to go. I want to get to a world that looks like that. We're going to take some risks. We're going to aim high on our aspirations on what we can achieve, because we really do believe we have the greatest clients and they deserve the best from us. So again, let's give you guys a round of applause. Thank you for helping us shape that. Okay, so a little bit about some of the growth that has been happening. I do have several new faces in the company that I want to introduce to you. Can I have Lene stand up? You guys all turn around. Lene joined the company as our senior marketing manager. She started in October. Doug Perks, our CTO, if you'll stand. He joined the company on Halloween. It was great bringing him on board. We brought on Dallin Dastrup as one of our account managers in January. We brought on Adam Jones, who started in February, I believe, right? As one of our senior software engineers. Aaron Thomas, one of our senior software engineers. And his first day was Sunday, so he's very fresh. Just as fresh as Dustin Graham, who also started on Sunday as our senior mobility developer. And we've also added back of the shop is Brent Comsa. He's in our tech pool. And we've got a brand new trainer, Brett Hilton, who started in November. So we've got a really great team, and I'm going to continue growing that team as much as I can to really help deepen that mission and spread that mission. You know, I hope that as you see this new growth, that it excites you, that you realize we really are trying to push. You know, as Jan said yesterday, we're not walking to the future, we are running. We are in a dead sprint, trying to move the platform, move the technology, to make sure that it's meeting your needs, not just today, but it'll meet your needs in 5, 10, 15 years. And we're always keeping that in mind. So, yeah, let's give those good guys another round of applause. Thank you for joining the company and being part of this team. All right, so I'm going to go through several of these slides a little bit quickly. Over the last year, we've released 5 new updates. Since March, we've shipped nearly about once every 10 to 12 weeks, every 2 to 3 months. You look kind of through the timelines here. Each release has had about 4 to 5 features, which if you divide that over 12 months, that's nearly about 25 new features, or 1 feature every 2 weeks. We've been doing a lot smaller releases, which allows us to have quicker adoption and a lot more timely feedback. We get to hear quickly whether or not that feature did what it was supposed to do. It allows us some flexibility, and it helps us improve your productivity because we get the features into your hands faster, which drives quicker adoption, and you guys are able to use the tools instead of waiting for a year. As we talk through each of these releases, I'll kind of pick one of my favorite features, and if we've got some time, we'll watch one of the demo videos on it. Many of these features that we're going to go over came straight from you. They came straight from user feedback that we received at conferences, that our techs received as you talked to them on the phone, and they came from our client advisory board. So a lot of this is really geared on feedback. And so speaking of feedback, I want to let you know that we've launched a new feedback forum at feedback.rtafleet.com. Doug, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that that email went out this morning. You all should have gotten registered. It might have gone out yesterday. You all should have gotten a link to sign up with your email based on what you were registered here at conference, so that you can, any wish list item, any item that you have for improvement, you'll be able to submit on the website. We're also encouraging you, if you have any best practices or answers to other problems, it's a great forum to bounce around ideas and help other people in the community. To walk you through a little bit of it, it's pretty easy. If you get that email to sign up, your email address will already be filled in. Give yourself a username. Let us know who you are and what company you're with. Once you're signed in, it's really easy to submit a new idea, not unlike doing an email. You'll go through and you'll click the new topic button up on the top right, and then fill in your name, give it a title, and then type a description of what your idea is. You know, what new thing would you like us to add to the software? And then as soon as you click submit, it'll be added up on the board. What's nice about this as well is that as you start typing in your idea, it'll go out and look for other ideas that are similar to yours and help you congregate around a single thread. I'd recommend that you browse through some of the other topics and ideas that have been submitted before. We've brought over all of the wish list items from years past. And we've gone through and added a few of the ones that we've seen in the past years. Your peers will be submitting topics as well. And so as you go through, you'll be able to read some of their ideas and see what they think. There's been several already that, I didn't really think about that. I'm gonna go ahead and vote on that one. Which to vote, it's as simple as clicking a vote button. Don't use them all at once. You get up to about 10, I believe. But you can vote on the issues that are most important to you. And as they gain steam, that gives us more of a prerogative to get those issues resolved and taken care of. It's not the only factor we use in deciding what we're going to work on, but it will definitely help steer the company and steer the features that we look at most heavily. As we look at features and trying to figure out what to release, what to build next, I look for features that are going to have a really broad impact, that'll affect a lot of people, and not just a couple of people offhand. So with that, if you have any questions on that feedback site, please talk to any of us in the company. More than happy to help you get started on that. And you will find that we're using this instead of the wish list cards because we do want you on that forum and we do want you voting on other people's ideas. And as a community, trying to lift up and steer the direction of the company. Okay, so let's get into some of the features that we've gone over the last couple years, or just this last year, sorry. 720, first feature we had on there was multiple mechanics on one line. We allow you to have more than one mechanic now clocked into a paperless shop job at the same time. That was a big feature that's been asked for many, many years. There were some technology limitations that were in place that got lifted, and so we were able to finally deliver this feature to you, and it was really cool to see this come out. We updated the brake inspections to allow you to track not just percentages, but now millimeters and inches as well, so you can do your brake readings the way that makes sense to you. And set your own parameters on what the trigger points are when it goes yellow and when it goes red and when it needs to be replaced. We gave you the ability to reverse PO receipts, so no more do you have to go through and do negative entries. We'll automatically apply those negatives for you and offset. If you make a mistake, maybe you received a whole bunch of transactions with the wrong invoice number, you can reverse them out and re-receive them with the right invoice number. We give you the ability to edit the paperless shop transactions, as well as insert start and end shifts, so that those of you who are paperless shop managers, you know how difficult it was before of fixing somebody's time card. Those problems are now a thing of the past. It's much easier to do now with the add edit paperless shop transaction utility. And then the last thing we added in 720 was the ability to update the vehicle status within paperless shop. So those of you using the automatic vehicle status, you are now able to update that within the paperless shop screen so that it sets the line status and gets that automatically for the vehicles instead of having to manually change it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skip this video for the sake of time. I would recommend that you go out. Every one of these features has an accompanying YouTube video. How many people have been watching the YouTube videos? All right, so the rest of you, as the new updates come out, watch those videos. You'll be amazed at how many features we pack into those videos. They give you a nice brief overview of what the feature does and how to use it. Okay, in 721, we released the ability to temporarily change your default facility. How many people are using this? All right, we've got a couple where you can actually change your facility. Anybody have more than one facility that they manage? All right, anybody have trouble as they bounce around between facilities? This feature allows you to temporarily change your default so that you don't have to keep switching back and forth. You can switch once, do everything you need to in that one facility, and then switch back to your default at the end of the day or when you log out. We added the ability to actively monitor who's in the system. So your sysadmins who are trying to do backups or apply updates, you can now actively go in and see who's in the system today. See what screen they're in, see what they're working on. You can't necessarily control their screen, but you can at least see that they're in the work order module and that they've been in there for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And you can see exactly where they're at. You can also lock RTA from that screen, so if you're going to apply an update, it's very easy to keep people out of the system. We redesigned the paperless shop activity screen. How many people are using paperless shop? How many people are using the new activity screen? All right, how many people really like that new screen? All right, so we added a lot of color coding to it. Thanks, Greg, I appreciate that. Color coding to help you know when mechanics forget to clock off, when they have gone over an estimated time on a job. So that as a paperless shop manager, it's much easier now to spot problems before they become bigger problems. We also added the ability to do expandable line notes so that you can see all of the notes in one screen. Okay. In 722, if it feels like there's a lot of features, it's because there really was. We added dashboard alerts, which replaces the data watchdog, I believe is what it was called. Dashboard alerts now has supplanted that. With that, we've brought over all the dashboard or all the watchdog widgets into dashboard. And so now you have one centralized interface for dashboards, dashboard email, and alerting. Alerting allows it to set trigger points so that you can get a notification when you have more than one driver report that needs to be reviewed. You can have a notification when your PM count gets too high. You can have a notification when you have too many vehicles down. And so you can set alerts based on parameters within your system, and so you can manage by exception instead of going in and trying to look for the problems. We made a lot of improvements to the dashboard performance so that it loads faster. It uses more of a cache in the background, so you're not having to spend any time waiting for the dashboard to load. Then we also added a lot of GPS Insight integration, specifically around diagnostic troubleshooting codes, odometer readings, and what was the last thing we added, Jacob, to that? And then we also have the ability to download data based on the VIN, birth certificate info for the vehicle based on the VIN. We had the PO approval in 723, the PO approval status on printed POs. How many people are using PO approvals? All right, so when you go print off a PO that's not approved now, it will clearly state on the PO that it's not been approved. And so you can't have anybody send in or scan in, fax over a PO to a vendor and have them accept that. There won't be any address on it. We strip the address off and we put a big red watermark, not approved. We redesigned the RTA help screen to make it easier for you to access the tools that you need. We added the ability to email your PO straight to a vendor, so that when you create a PO, you can click a button and have that email or that PDF get sent straight to your vendor without having to print it off or save it as a PDF and attach it manually. How many people have been using that feature at all? Halfway, all right. So it does require you to have an email address in your vendor screen. It does require you to have a mail server that you can send it out with. But if you're using a mail client, odds are you have a mail server. So, and then there you go, we added the ability to decode the VINs through GPS Insight. The other thing we went through and did was we put that vehicle status in a lot of other screens. So we added it to the templates, we added it to the PMs, and we added it to the inspections. What's nice about that is that a lot of those generate work orders on the fly or automatically. And so you can actually preload your status so that when you have a PM that's past due and you auto-create your work orders, the status will automatically get set based on what you've put into the template. You can have it automatically get set when you do your paperless inspections. The defect lines will create the status on those new lines that get generated. And so if you have a vehicle, a status for waiting for PM, as soon as you run your auto PM report, all those vehicles will now have their statuses changed to waiting for PM. You don't have to go manually do that for all those lines. So if you're generating 100 work orders a week, that's 100 more things that you don't have to do anymore because you can preset it. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll watch this next video. I'm going to highlight the email PO to vendor feature, and hopefully this is something that you guys will all be able to benefit from.
Next, there are two new features in the RTA purchase order module. The first new feature allows one to email an RTA purchase order directly to the vendor from the purchase order itself. If you have the general email options set up correctly in the RTA and the appropriate update files installed, now in the PO record, there will be a new email button available which will email the PO as a PDF attachment to the vendor directly. And it uses the email address or addresses from the vendor file to send the email to. This works within the standard POs and also within the PO approval module. In the standard PO, the email button is available all the time at the main PO screen next to the vendor number or integrated into the print PO prompt screen. If the PO approval module is turned on, then the email button is locked out until the PO moves to an approved status. Then an email can be launched from the main PO screen, from the print PO prompt screen, or from the PO approval screen as well. When the email button is selected, RTA will prompt the end user if they want to send the shop or vendor copy with or without line notes, with an additional prompt to select between the wide, narrow, or tracking print format options. RTA then creates the formatted email and launches a basic email editor. The outgoing email is formatted to include in the subject line, purchase order number and your company name. Then in the body of the email includes the attached PO is from your company name with the billing address information and phone number from the RTA facility file. This information can be added to or changed prior to hitting the send email button.
All right, how many people think they might be able to use a feature like that? All right, how many people are going to go back and try to turn that on in their own system? All right, good. So we've got one thing at least. We've met one of our goals, right? All right, this next release was one of my favorites. I had a lot of really good features over the last year that I really enjoyed, but this one really had a lot of good stuff in it. The first one was the vehicle replacement scoring report. I'm going to have Kevin explain this in a little bit, but actually it might be Larry, but the scoring report essentially allows you to, based on 5 criteria, score a vehicle and determine when you need to replace that vehicle. It generates a really nice, easy to read, color-coded report that you can submit to management and let them know which vehicles need to be replaced now, which ones need to be replaced in the next year or two, which ones are totally fine, and which ones are in great condition. We also added the PM compliance report so that you could see how you're doing on your PMs. If you're performing them too early, are you doing them too late, or are you doing them right on time? It gives you a nice little buffer that you can put in so that you can establish when that on-time window is. But this gives you a nice trend over time to see kind of how you perform your PMs. And I'm really hoping that you'll be able to take that and drive some improvement in your own shops based on your PM compliance. We added the ability for everybody now to set the average times based on the VMRS codes by class with a simple utility that will look through your history and set the averages based on your mechanics in your fleet. So no longer do you have to go with the default of 0.3 hours. You'll be able to set the averages based on your shop and your locations and base it off of your own time estimates. You're able to turn those down and tune them up. So if you want to set the average at 0.5 maybe, or maybe lower it by 10% or 20%, you're able to set your standard based on where you want it. But it will automatically generate that by class, by VMRS code, so that you have very accurate, very specific estimated times, which means that you can start tracking your productivity much, much better. We added the ability to do a custom crystal report. So any people have written their own custom crystal reports? Anybody? Anybody have any custom reports that they have in their system? How many people have access to that through RTA? If you have 724, you do now. And it's as simple as putting the report into a folder, and then all of your users are able to launch that report without having to have anything else extra installed other than our client, our native Crystal viewer. You don't have to go out and buy a copy of the Crystal license to publish those reports. You don't need to go out and use external third-party report tools. You can use a built-in viewer with RTA, and we'll automatically point that at your database so that you can access those reports and have all of your subordinates use those same reports. Last thing we worked on with 724 was the ability to do a configurable data import. This is still in progress, but we added the ability to import several master records like vehicles, customers, departments, and eventually we'll have all of the master records where you can import that data into your fleet records. The other half of this is going to be the export, where you're actually able to make exports of all those master records, make changes in another program, and then bring them back in. When we designed this, we wanted this to be flexible. We wanted it to be easy to use, and so we have documentation online that tells you exactly what the fields are, and you can put them in any order you want as long as that heading matches what we're expecting. So if you're going to bring that data back in, you don't have to bring in all the fields anymore. You can just update one single field for that vehicle. You can update one single field for a part number. So we're also going to be adding the ability to import work order records and import POs. You won't be able to update your work order records and POs, but we are going to add the ability to at least import new ones. So if you have an external utility or things like that, you could use this import utility to bring those in. Okay, and so with that, I'm going to have Larry will explain two of my favorite features. I couldn't pick just one on this one. I had to go through my top two. And so I hope you enjoy this.
And finally, 2 new SQL-based reports, the PM Compliance Report and the Vehicle Replacement Report. These 2 reports are for SQL system only. The first report is the PM Compliance Report. This allows users to see what PMs were completed before, within, or after an acceptable range. To do this, a new data table was created to store this history information. This is done so that historical data can be kept track of even when a PM interval may change. The information is populated whenever a work order line that is flagged as a PM is closed. At the time of closing, it will populate the amount of time and units past due or early, take the meter on the work order and the posting date at the time of job closing. The acceptable range is defined before running the report, allowing users to play with what-if scenarios. For example, if a PM was completed 300 miles after it was due, and if your acceptable zone was 300 miles before to 300 miles after, it would be counted as done on time. If your acceptable zone was 150 miles before to 150 miles after, it would be counted as done late. The report can then be run by vehicle or department and show only PMs who passed or failed the acceptable zone, determined by the meter and date parameter, or can be run to show all regardless of the status. This is very helpful to see if you are consistently performing PMs too early, too late, or right on time. The report displays units, days past due or early, if it was done on time for each meter type, when it was posted for the meter type, and when it was due for the meter type. The report also displays totals, grand totals, and a chart with the percentage of the PMs that were done on time, late or early, according to the interval you choose to run. The second report is a brand new vehicle replacement scoring report and is based off the American Public Works Association 5-category system of 1, projected age, 2, condition, 3, projected mileage, 4, maintenance costs compared to purchase price of the vehicle, and 5, service count per year, either by line or work order count. This report is controlled by the new vehicle replacement scoring tab in the vehicle class file and a new condition field that has been added to the vehicle file general tab. A new VRMS code checkbox has also been added that, when applied, will prompt the mechanic on work order line closed to update the vehicle condition. There are 5 conditions to choose from, with 1 being the best condition and 5 being the worst. The categories are 1, no visual damage, 2, minor imperfections, 3, noticeable imperfections, 4, accident damage, and 5, inoperative or unsafe. When you run the vehicle replacement scoring report, you are prompted to choose a facility or region, and you can choose to run the report by department, class, or by vehicle. The report is presented in an easy-to-read, color-coded report showing the vehicles that are in excellent and good condition and the vehicles that need to be considered or needs to be replaced, all with a couple of clicks from your mouse.
All right, so how many people think they might be able to use that replacement report? All right. How many people think they might use that PM compliance report? All right. How many are a little scared of what that's going to show them? All right, so with that compliance report and the replacement report, obviously Larry mentioned that it is for SQL systems only. There's some of the technology we're using in the background has to have SQL in order to work. So it is one requirement on that. The other side of that is, I forgot what else was on that, but if you are interested in those reports and you do need to upgrade to SQL, be sure to talk to Jan or Dallin as well. He's here to help, right? One quick thing about all these updates of these features, we've had a lot of great success with these features over the year. It really does take an army to develop these, to test them. So I want to give a quick shout out to my dev team, to my QA team who helps make sure that we ship quality, that it meets our standards, to our support team who helps us roll these out and make sure that clients know how to use them, to our training team who does all those training videos. I point out those videos. I highly recommend you go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. These videos come out with every single release. And they're very, very helpful, especially if you want to communicate to your team what a new feature contains or what's coming in the next update. Our marketing team's done a great job putting together the material, making sure that our email launches all go out on time. And specifically our client advisory board's done a wonderful job helping us make decisions about what features to implement in the software. Many of the features you saw this year were direct input from client advisory board. And so can I have my client advisory board, anybody who's here, can you guys stand up? I know I've seen several of you. All right, can we give them a big round of applause? Thank you guys very much. You guys have been instrumental in changing even just the direction of our company. I really do believe in getting that client feedback. It's really important to me. It's important to us as a company. And that advisory board is one of the best ways to get involved in shaping the direction of where RTA goes. Every conference we kind of close out the last term and we start up a new term. And so it is that time where if you're interested in applying for the new term, then please let us know. Give us a business card. Submit your resumes, whatever you want to give us. Basically, I'm looking for about 10 to 15 diverse fleets who, in different positions, who can give us different perspectives on problems. We don't want to develop a piece of software or give you a feature and realize that, wow, we totally didn't think about how this type of segment or this type of client would use it. And so we want to try to get as many opinions as possible. So again, if you're interested in participating, please send me your information, either email me or leave it up front in your evals. And if you're already on the board, you're welcome to continue serving, and we'll be talking to you guys just here next week. Again, thank you for your service. Thank you for being a part of shaping the direction of the company and really delivering great features to the rest of your peers. So let's give them a round of applause again. And so when we talk about the future of the company, I do want to say, don't miss tomorrow's keynote with Doug. He'll be talking about 725 and beyond. It's going to be a great technology-focused keynote on what we have designed for the future. Also, last bit of information, turning your evaluation forms we'll give you a $10 Starbucks gift card this year. It really does help us kind of shape the direction of Connect, make sure that we're doing a good job as a team, make sure that the event's meeting your needs, and we'd love to have that feedback from you. So again, as you turn it in, we'll make sure that we hand you a $10 gift card in return. Again, thank you guys very much. I really do hope you enjoy RTA Connect this year. We've made a lot of great changes, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, before you go, I do have one more thing. I'm going to introduce this year's Connect is the RTA subscription model. We've been going through, we've been visiting a lot of clients, and as I've been turning through my head about how do I best serve the needs of our clients, this subscription model keeps coming back and coming back. And so with that, I want to introduce the RTA subscription model, the SaaS model. When you have an RTA subscription, that's going to include having us host it. It includes the hosting fee. We're looking to make this a lot simpler, and so it's a very simplified price per vehicle per month for probably less than it costs to do an oil change on your vehicle. And so it would include your hosting. It includes getting your upgrade to SQL. So those of you who are still on Vision, it's all included in one price, being on SQL. Those of you who are on hosting already, or those of you who want to move hosting, it does include unlimited users. We're not limiting the number of users that you can give access to your system anymore. We also include all standard add-on modules, so there's no more nickel and diming trying to, well, do I need that feature? Do I want that feature? If you want to try a feature, you turn it on. It doesn't cost you anything more. It's all included in that subscription price. We're going to include access to all of our training videos, not just the basic training series. So this is all training videos that we've published over the last 2-3 years. This could include mechanic paperless shop, paperless inspections, all the training videos that we've developed over the years that will be included inside of your RTA Guides module. And I'm also going to include the Ron Turley seminars. So we've had these videos for probably about 2 or 3 years, and I've been trying to figure out what to do with them. There's still a lot of relevant information in them. And this came to me. This is one of the best ways to get his name, get his face back out there, and get his ideas into your heads so that you can go through and implement a lot of the changes and practices that he tried at UPS and over the years as a consultant through many, many, many fleets. And lastly, there's one more thing that I wanted to include with this. I wanted to open up the training office at RTA and give anybody who's on the subscription plan free access to come to RTA, in our office in Glendale, for free and get training. We visited several companies, and most of them, training budget's one of the first things that get slashed. It was really heartbreaking. I had a school district that was local, and these kids bust my kids, and they had several new people, but they couldn't afford to come to training, and we were 5 miles away from their shop. There's no reason for that. So I'm trying to do my part to give back to the community, give back to you guys. If you're on this subscription model, you can come to RTA for free. We'll pay for lunch. Can't pay for your hotel or your travel. You do have to get yourself there, but you can come to the class for free as many times as you want. You can send as many people as you want. I do have a caveat. Try to limit it to about 5. We'll see how this goes. If I need to open up more training classes, we'll look at that. But if you're on the subscription plan and you want to send somebody to training, don't worry about paying for the registration. They can come anyway. How many people think they might be interested in a plan like that? All right, thank you. This is a big change for us. I really wanted to try to simplify it, make it so that it wasn't so overwhelming of, well, how much is that module? How much is this module? I need another 25 vehicles. I need this. I want to go to that training. It's this much. I wanted to simplify it and try to make everything all included in a very simple, easy to understand price that's simply based on how big your fleet is. The number of vehicles you have at a monthly rate. It is no risk. There's no long-term contract. So if you get in, you try it, you don't like it, you can always get off. But I think you really are going to like it. We have a lot of clients on our hosted platform right now, and I will say that it has been almost nearly flawless. You can talk to almost any client in here. How many people are hosted right now? All right, and without a doubt, it's been really smooth, really fast, and we offer a great experience on our hosted platform. If you do have questions on that, Jan Smith, Dallin Dastrup, grab them, talk to them, find out what's involved and what it takes to move over to the subscription plan. Okay, so I had 2 more things, my last thing. We will see you next year in Orlando. We are going to be holding a conference in Orlando next year. As we were deciding on locations, we did Vegas for 2 years in a row, and so we kind of got off of our schedule. We're doing San Diego this year. We've been out west for 3 years running. We have a ton of people on the East Coast. I'm going to try to take care of those guys for at least next year. We likely will be back in Vegas in 2020, but for 2019, we're going to be in Orlando from March 11th to March 15th. We'll be at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista, which is near Disney Springs. It's down near, what is that, Kissimmee down there? By Lake Buena Vista. It's by Disney World. Okay, the room rates are going to be about $155 a night for most of the rooms. There are a little bit nicer rooms for $179 a night, and this will all be published online. But for those of you who are right in the middle of your budget cycles, these next couple slides are going to be important for you. Okay, so that'll be your room rate for the night. 5-day pass. The regular price is about what it was this year, about $50 less than it was this year at $12.95. But if you register before July 31st, I'm offering a 30% discount for our diehard clients. For $907, you can come out for 5 days and be at conference in Orlando next year. You're definitely going to be signed up. All right, again, this is our diehard pricing. Okay, if you're not able to get in there by July 31st, then your real swift price will be by October 31st. You can sign up as a 20% discount. We'll get you in for $1,036. And then we'll extend our normal early bird discount out through January 31st, and that'll go up to $1,166. Again, if you're not so swift and you sign up after January 31st, it goes up to our regular price. Okay, for those who aren't coming out for the full 5 days, we don't have that same diehard 30% and 20%, but it will be this price, the $940 for the 30-day pass until January 31st. All right. I am bringing back a group rate, so if you want to send more than 3 attendees, we're going to be bringing back a group rate. So you'll get 5% off of either a 3-day pass or a 5-day pass. Anywhere after that diehard group, or that diehard rate expires, it'll be August 1st through January 31st. You're able to sign up more than 3 people, you get an additional 5% off of everybody's registration. So we do have several groups here. How many people have brought more than 3 people with them this year? I think it was like 10 to 15. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for being here. But I hope you're able to take advantage of that in Orlando next year as well. And then lastly, we are going to offer the same 2-day that we did this year at $695. So if you just want to come for the 2-day, that is an option. I don't recommend it as much. This is really the fun part of conference. We had about 15 people this year just came for the 2-day, and almost every one of them said, I wish I had signed up for 5 days. I said, you know what, I agree with you. I wish you had too. It is a lot of fun. So thank you guys for being here. That's all I have. So please enjoy Connect 2018. And one last thing, go RTA.